Welcome to Form 4 Agriculture Digital Content. Agriculture is an important subject in our day-to-day life. In Form 1, 2 and 3, you are introduced to both crop and livestock practices. In Form 4, you will continue broadening the content scope using the following topics: Livestock Production 5, which involves poultry; Livestock Production 6, which involves cattle; Farm Power and Machinery; Agricultural Economics 3, which involves production economics; Agricultural Economics 4, which involves farm accounts; Agricultural Economics 5, which involves agricultural marketing and organizations; and Agroforestry. You will also have the opportunity to learn new skills as you navigate through Form 4 Agriculture Digital Content and practice answering examination questions as a preparation for the subject evaluation. Practical activities are also suggested to link theory and practice. Welcome and enjoy Form 4 Agriculture Digital Content. Livestock Production 5. Poultry. The term poultry refers to all kinds of domestic bird kept for meat or egg production. They include chicken, turkey, ducks, geese, ostriches, guinea fowls, and pigeons. The management of poultry aims at production of high-quality eggs and meat to meet the ever-increasing market demand. In this lesson, we shall concentrate mainly on the rearing of chicken, which are the most common domestic birds. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to identify parts of an egg, select eggs for incubation, identify suitable sources of chicks, describe broodiness and natural brooding, describe brooder and brooder management, describe conditions necessary for artificial incubation, describe rearing systems of poultry, describe feeding of each age and category of poultry, identify causes and control of vices and stress in poultry, describe marketing of eggs and poultry meat, select, sort, and grade eggs for marketing. Background information. In your earlier studies, you learned that the reproductive system of poultry is different from that of other animals in the farm. The females have highly elongated oviduct, an adaptation that enables poultry to produce large eggs. The egg is highly nutritious, making it a popular human food. The chicken embryo develops outside the body of the mother in a process called incubation. Activities. Visit a nearby poultry farm and do the following: establish the type of poultry rearing system used on the farm, establish their source of chicks, establish the market for the poultry product, and inquire from farm manager whether poultry farming is profitable or not. Construct a simple brooder structure using local materials and appropriate tools. Obtain several eggs and use a candle light or a torch of light to check for fertility, presence of hair cracks on shell, presence of double yolks, size of airspace, and presence of meat and blood spots. Participate in a class project and construct a fold unit. Visit a commercial hatchery if possible and make observations on selection procedure for eggs for incubation, handling of eggs, how the incubator works, and how eggs are cared for when in incubator. Find out how eggs are marketed in a nearby local market and the different types of poultry feeds in a nearby agrovet. The diagram below represents a rearing system in poultry. By clicking on the appropriate button, identify the type of poultry rearing system represented by the diagram from the two alternatives given below. Match the statements given below on functions of the parts of the brooder with the correct part. By dragging and dropping, place the appropriate poultry rearing system described best by the statements below. By clicking on the appropriate buttons, identify the possible causes of stress in birds. The list below are possible causes of either egg eating, cannibalism, or stress. Drag and drop each under the appropriate column in the table below. The chicken egg. Parts of an egg. The egg is composed of the following parts: the shell, shell membranes, air space, albumen, also called egg white, chalaza, and the yolk. Quiz 1. State whether the following statements are true or false by clicking on the appropriate response. Incubation of eggs. Before eggs are incubated, farmers should select good quality eggs through physical examination. Eggs for incubation should be fertilized, smooth-shelled, oval in shape, crack-free, medium, fresh, and free from egg abnormalities. Egg candling. Importance of egg candling. Egg candling is a method of examining the internal condition of an egg for abnormalities by looking at it against a strong light in a dark room. Egg candling helps to detect any hair cracks on the egg shells, whether egg is fertilized, presence of double yolks, size of air space, and meat and blood spots in an egg. Quiz 3. Below are statements on advantages and disadvantages of natural incubation. Drag and drop each into the appropriate column. Brooding is the rearing of chicks from day old to 8 weeks old. There are two types of brooding: natural brooding and artificial brooding. By clicking on either true or false buttons, identify the characteristics of broodiness in hens. In natural brooding, a hen is allowed to stay with the chicks, providing them with warmth and security. The conditions of a brooder. The brooder should have the following: litter, fresh air, heat source, dim light, and smooth round inner walls. Below is a list of advantages and disadvantages of natural brooding. Drag and drop each under appropriate column. Artificial brooding. In artificial brooding, chicks are kept in a structure called a brooder, where food and other requirements are provided. The brooder structure should be rounded to prevent chicks from overcrowding in corners, resulting in suffocation. Equipment used in a brooder. The equipment needed for artificial brooding include feeders, which should be clean and sufficient, waterers, which should be designed in a way to prevent chicks from fouling the water, debeaking tools, which include scissors, knife, file, and debeaker. Poultry rearing systems. Generally, there are 3 rearing systems followed among poultry keepers. The type of rearing system adopted depends to a large extent on the size of land and the capital available. These rearing systems are extensive or free-range system, semi-intensive or fold system, and intensive system. Extensive or free-range system. In extensive system, birds are left to roam over a wide open area which may have permanent fence of wire netting and a simple house. Semi-intensive or fold system. In semi-intensive system, birds are confined in a small movable structure called ark or fold measuring 3.5 times 1.5 times 1.5 meters high, which is suitable for 10 to 15 birds. The roofed part of the fold contains waterers, laying nest and feeders, while the unroofed part allows in sunlight and is used for exercise and feeding on grass. Moving of the folds to a new ground reduces buildup of parasites and diseases, provides fresh grass, and avoids accumulation of droppings. Intensive system. Intensive system of rearing poultry is designed in such a way that a lot of birds are kept in a small area of land. There are two methods under intensive system. These are deep litter system and battery cage system. Management of layers. It is important that all the necessary routine operations are carried out properly to ensure maximum production of eggs in layers. Each layer should be provided with 120 grams of layers mash per day in addition to sufficient clean water. Green vegetables should also be provided to keep birds busy and provide nutrients. Diseases and parasites should be controlled effectively. A farmer should provide enough laying nests for the layers. Eggs should be collected at regular intervals, at least twice a day. Poor layers should be culled. Management of broilers. Broilers are referred to as table birds. They exhibit high growth rate due to their high feed conversion ratio. Broilers are kept in a brooder for the first 4 weeks, feeding on broiler starter mash ad libitum. From the 4th week, they are removed from the brooder and are fed on broiler finisher to the point of slaughter at the age of 8 weeks. Clean water should be provided at all times. Diseases and parasites should be controlled. Stress and vices in chicken. Stress in chicken. Stress is a condition imposed on poultry that makes them uncomfortable. Stress in birds is identified by watching the behavior of birds, for example, unusual noise, opening of beaks, loss of appetite, and dullness. Birds with stress are nervous and display signs of discomfort. Stress in birds may be caused by sudden loud noises, presence of strangers or predators, sudden change of routine, overcrowding, lack of food and water, extreme temperatures, or poor handling of birds. Control of stress in chicken. In order to control stress in birds, poultry houses should be built in a quiet place, should be properly ventilated, well insulated, and spacious. Birds should be handled properly in order to reduce stress. Change in routine should be gradual. Birds should be provided with sufficient well-balanced diet, while diseases and parasites should be controlled promptly. Vices in chicken. Vices are bad habits developed by birds. The most common vice behaviors are egg eating and cannibalism. Egg eating is caused by bright light in laying nests, presence of broken or soft-shelled eggs on the floor, lack of calcium, idleness, and eggs on the floor. Control of egg eating in chicken. Egg eating can be controlled through the following ways: making laying nest dark or dimly lit, providing enough laying nests, providing enough balanced diet, collecting eggs frequently and regularly, and debeaking perpetual egg eaters. Cannibalism in chicken. Cannibalism is a vice in which birds peck each other, resulting in injury or, in extreme cases, death. Apart from lack of balanced diet in the poultry, cannibalism is also caused by presence of external parasites, idleness, prolapse cloaca, very bright light, especially in the brooder, and disturbance of the pecking order due to introduction of new birds.